Welcome back. Now to the big question in Bengaluru. Will the Chinnaswamy Stadium get to host the IPL this year? And even as we are speaking here, the state cabinet, I believe, is discussing that very issue on deciding whether IPL matches can be held at the Chinnaswamy Stadium where the RCB plays. Remember, a tragic stampede last year at the end of the IPL season, despite the victory of the RCB, led to the death of 11 people when that celebration ceremony was on outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium. It raised multiple questions. There was an exchange of blame. There were criminal cases that was filed. There was even the suspension of a police commissioner in Bengaluru. All that has passed and everything has gone reinstated. But there are still questions over what led to the stampede, who to be held responsible for. Against that backdrop, the question now is, will there be IPL matches held at the KSCA this year? Who's responsible? What further precautionary measures need to be taken? Which are the civic agencies, whether it is the Bengaluru Water Board, whether it is the Electricity Board, whether it's the police, who need to be told to give permissions for allowing KSCA to hold IPL matches? All those issues have been discussed over the last few days, and we believe the state cabinet will take a final call on that matter. It will be an emotional moment for RCB fans, but it's also an important moment for the team and for cricket itself in Bengaluru as far as IPL is concerned. Ritu Rajpurohit sums up the story so far before we get into a discussion with three Bengalurians on what next for the city.
All eyes on today's cabinet, whether there will really be a good news for the cricket fans, whether the state government will give a nod to allow the cricket matches to take place at the iconic Chinnaswamy Stadium right after the Stampede incident that took place, which claimed almost 11 lives here in the city. So needs to be seen, because the Home Minister earlier in the day, Dr. G. Parmeshwar, in fact, also had a discussion with that KSCA team and the RCB team, and also there were other senior officials from various departments who were present in the meeting, where they discussed about the so far how many of that recommendations have been complied regarding that of a Kunna report. That needs to be seen, because earlier that the RCB had really flagged certain infrastructure related issues and the safety measures as well. To so what extent will that the work will be really on, to what kind of phases of work that the KSCA will be ready to take it up and will comply on time, that will be very crucial. But how that the government will really plan to give a nod to it, what would be certain recommendations that they're really going to put forth, that needs to be seen.
Well, joining us now this evening on the show to discuss what next for the IPL is Syed Asad Abbas, who supports the Congress, Anurag Naidu, but both of them know Bangalore really well. We also have Varnata Singh, who's an RCB fan joining us here on the show this evening. Syed Asad Abbas, we were there outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium discussing this issue last June under tragic circumstances. Anurag Naidu was there as well in some of our discussions. Before I get to Varnata Singh, let me get to the two of you. You think it's time to move past? What are the lessons have we really learnt from the Stampede, both as fans and as administrators and as KSCA? Is the Chinnaswamy Stadium ready to host the IPL this year?
Veera Saab, I've hosted the RCB events for over 10 years as a professional anchor here in Bengaluru city, and I can tell you it has been one of the greatest experience ever. But to me, as a supporter of the Congress party and Karnataka government, let me tell you, sir, that even if one single life is in danger, I absolutely do not think it is worth to have even a single match at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Let us understand, with great power, there's great responsibility and equal accountability. Accountability needs to be set in here. I'm glad that the Congress government here in Karnataka is able to establish a retired High Court judge committee under the able leadership of Sri John Michael Kunna. We need to understand, there are two reports which has come in from the same. One is a short-term plan and one is the long-term plan. From what I heard, the RCB representatives and the Karnataka State Cricket Association has agreed to Home Minister Ji that yes, we have prepared and full frontal on the short-term plans. But the real question is, what about the long-term plans? We need to bring in the best of security measures, safety measures, and also, very importantly, crowd management. We are all RCB fans here.
Anurag
We love
Naidu.
shouting RCB, but not at the cost of a single life, because even a single life is lost Even a Virat Kohli is not our hero. We Kannadigas need to understand
All right,
that.
let me get Anurag Naidu to weigh in on this. Anurag Naidu, is it time? Is the Chinnaswamy Stadium and everyone ready to move past? Is it fair to push for the IPL this year? Should we be very careful about it? Because cricket does not stop. It was a tragedy. Is it fair to hold the stadium and the fans responsible in the state and the city for that tragedy? Or is it important that we miss or skip this year in memory of what happened last year?
Now, Vida, I think it's very important and it is very significant that Chinnaswamy Stadium hosts IPL this year. The rule and the conventional practice, the defending champions get to host the first kickoff match of the next season. And I think the last incident happened in June. A long number of months have passed. It was a good enough time for the state government to introspect on what went wrong, do a root cause analysis. Chinnaswamy Stadium is 57 years old property, right in the heart of Bangalore. It is of significant importance. 40,000 viewership. They're all looking forward to hosting a match again. A first match of an IPL is a very important match. And I think if we still, as a government or people in the governance, are still not able to decide after 8 or 9 months, and we still don't have a comprehensive report finding out what exactly went wrong and how can we ensure these things are not repeated. These are very specific. You need to understand a comprehensive report will definitely give you a kind of confidence that is needed to host a match. And I think if you're still in a dilemma, we have something to introspect upon. We cannot, I mean, maybe one or two life, but it is historic for Bangalore to kick off an IPL season. And I don't think we're doing right by totally, rubbishing off or pushing off to the back burner.
I'd like to quick rebuttal to that.
Varnata Singh, you've heard both Syed Asad Abbas and Anurag Naidu speak out of the larger issues that's there. We'll step aside from the government and the responsibility overall. Are fans ready to go back to the Chinnaswamy Stadium? Has there been a change since last year? As an RCB fan, what's your sense right now?
I mean, yeah, cricket is there, but safety is priority. And I personally have felt there are changes which is required at Chinnaswamy Stadium. I haven't felt safe at times. So I want some changes to be done. Cricket can happen anywhere. I think Navi Mumbai is the second option which they are looking. And if we think that Chinnaswamy is not ready, I think we should shift our matches because lives matters. Cricket will happen, but will the lives come back? No. I was there at Ahmedabad final last year and I knew that this is going to happen, but I did not come because I know how risky it is. The parades are risky and every lives matter. So instead of getting into a chaos again and again, I know we are defending champions, our women's have won, but then that can be celebrated, in the future. But the lives matter, and I feel the safety, the ground management, the gates have to be rebuilt, and there are a lot of things which needs to be changed within Chinnaswamy. So if all that is done, maybe yes, but if not, maybe we should rethink about it.
Yeah. Can I add on to
Syed
that?
Asad Abbas, you had enormous amount of face-off with the between the police. You had the suspension of the commissioner. You had criminal cases filed against RCB, KSCA members. As you mentioned, the Dakuna report. But of course, the political leadership did not take any responsibility for it. Whose responsibility for it is it to ensure that an event happens peacefully? Is it not the administration's responsibility to come together, galvanize all its resources to ensure that cricket can play on? Tomorrow, we can't say that no cricket match can play on at the Chinnaswamy Stadium.
Virasa, hand on my heart, so I will give you the answer. It was the year 2015 when I had the opportunity to host the same RCB events, shouting RCB with the likes of Chris Gale, AB de Villiers, and also Virat Kohli. There is a reason I'm called MC Abbas. I've been a master of ceremonies and I've known them closely. And these are die-hard cricketers, fans, and they love their fans. I believe it breaks their heart, shatters their soul when they see such a catastrophe happening. I think my dear friend Anurag Naidu made a very good point that over the last 8 to 9 months, what has the government done? Let me tell you, sir, political heads did roll. Mr. Govindraju, who's a political secretary and advisor, on whose advice Sidramaya ji and DKG took this decision, his head was rolled. Commissioner Binanda head rolled. Not just that, many transfers were made. Now, final point I'd like to make here is a very simple one. If tomorrow tomorrow this Karnataka Congress government holds matches at the Chinnaswamy Stadium and something goes wrong, we will put the blame on DK, Shivkumar, Siddaramaiah and blame the Congress government. I'm
No,
not saying matches.
it's
I'm not
part
saying
of being
matches will
in
not
power,
happen.
boss. Ultimately,
Just
you
30
are
seconds.
also supposed to be responsible
Yes.
enough to ensure
30
that nothing
seconds,
goes wrong.
therefore.
Anurag Naidu, how long can
Veera,
we sidestep
just 10
cricket?
seconds, Veera. Veera, 10 seconds. The fact is, yes, let me tell you, I'd be one of the most happiest RCB fans myself to see the matches happening and doing a live in front of Chinnaswamy, celebrating yet another victory. But it is not a no yet. Parmeshwarji is going to speak to the cabinet, ensure everything is
Okay, your
in
10
place.
seconds
And
up.
if all
Anurag
falls in,
Naidu, respond.
if all falls in, we will have a match.
Anurag Naidu,
And
weigh
we
in
will
here.
all go together.
Veera, in the 57 years history, it was one-off incidents. Last year, unfortunately, 11 people lost their lives, and this was a celebration outside the stadium, not in the match. While exiting, it was a very extraordinary moment. The spirits were high. Having said that, Veera, we cannot undermine the economic significance a match brings for Karnataka state cricket to thrive and fund the people. Every match brings you 10 to 8 crores of revenue, which again is used for the curators with the for the maintenance upkeep of the ground and the players, and then you organize a lot of internal local events where you nourish your players. So from a revenue standpoint, unless it is really genuinely needed to make changes, you can reduce the headcount. You can, instead of having 40,000, you can have 20,000 spectators, or you can have a cap of 30,000. Have more police deployment. I know it's in the heart of the city. Regulate in a proper way. Maybe start slow, but you cannot completely abandon a match. This is important to know.
That's right. That's right. It's also the question of optics. Vartana Singh, I'll give you the last word. What's your message today? As the state cabinet is discussing this
I don't
issue.
know. For me, safety is priority. I mean, I am a die-hard core. I travel alone across the country. I have seen matches at Ahmedabad, Mumbai. So I would love to support my team anywhere. It's not that it's just Chinnaswamy only then I'm going to support. But for me,
Absolutely.
safety is priority. There are young fans who have lost lives, and they matter. None of the cricketers or the management would like to have that again, right? So safety is priority. If we
Right.
can have the crowd management properly done and safety checks are done, well, go ahead and host a match at Chinnaswamy. Fans would love to have, to see the matches at home. But then the crowd safety
That's
matters,
right.
and
It's
that is going to
perhaps
be my message. If that is done, I am also coming back to Chinnaswamy. But then, yeah, we shall wait and see what happens
Veera,
next.
let's hope
That's
for the
right. It's
best, Veera.
perhaps
This
it's
happens,
also
and we're all
possibly
rooting at
a moment
Chinnaswamy.
to turn around and prove Syed Asad Abbas that we are capable of holding a match. The crowds can be much better behaved.
I'm
The
positive,
stadium
Veera,
can
we
be
shall
much
be.
better prepared, and the entire administration could be ready. But I'll have to leave this conversation right here. Thanks to Syed Asad Abbas, Anurag Naidu, and Vartana Singh for joining us. We'll wait for that state cabinet to take a final call on it. Which way is it going to be is something that will be keenly watched as far as IPL fans are concerned, because Chinnaswamy Stadium, let's not forget, is also a historic cricket venue, and the KSCA and the Chinnaswamy Stadium would also be closely watching what the state cabinet decides on this bit.